south side.
There has been an officer-involved shooting near Park and 34th.
Yes, and Janice Yu is joining us live from the scene with our late-breaking coverage tonight. Janice, what can you tell us at this point?
Heather, Dan, very limited details at this point. We do know that this is an officer-involved shooting, but we don't have any information on exactly who was shot and what their condition is tonight. Now, I'm standing right near 36th and Park. Take a look here behind me. Park is closed from 33rd to 35th Street, and streets between Fremont and Park are also closed as well. Dozens of Tucson police units just in this area alone, and we've seen more arrive in just the past 30 minutes or so. Now, there's a very large group of officers behind these units as well. Now, we are still waiting for someone with the Tucson Police Department to give us details on exactly what happened. We'll continue to bring you updates as we get them, but again, heavy police presence as TPD investigates an officer-involved shooting. Road closures near 36th and Park. Reporting live from the south side, Janice Yu, KOLD News 13, live local late breaking.
All right, thank you so much, Janice. We are continuing our live team coverage right now of this late-breaking situation. We're going to head on out to KOLD News 13's Kristen Hobrook. And Kristen, you're at Banner UMC right now. What have you learned there?
Heather, I'm right outside the emergency room here at Banner UMC, and I have learned some new information. I've learned that both the suspect and the officer involved in the shooting have been rushed here to Banner UMC. I'm actually joined right now by Chief of Police Chris Magnus. Now, Chief Magnus, explain the condition for the officer involved in this shooting.
We're very fortunate because the officer is in good condition. He sustained a grazing gunshot, so he is in good condition. They're obviously evaluating and treating him here.
And the suspect is also here in the hospital? The
suspect is also here. He sustained what appear to be several gunshot wounds, appears to be in critical condition. We'll know more about his condition over time.
And talk to me about how this all started. It is gang-related.
Well, we don't know that. We know that the officer was doing gang and narcotics enforcement in the area. He encountered a suspect on a bicycle who fled from him. There was an exchange of gunfire between the two, and that's how the officer sustained the injury that he sustained. Also, the suspect was shot. So we're really doing an investigation into the full set of circumstances. But this happened at around 8 o'clock tonight in the area of Park and 34th. So we're going to be continuing to investigate it.
Okay, and at this point, are there any other suspects out there that you're currently looking for, or is the only suspect involved the one here in the hospital?
Right now, we believe it's just the one suspect that's here in the hospital, but obviously the investigation is ongoing. So we'll know more in the next day or so.
And how long had this officer been with the Tucson Police Department?
He's one of our experienced officers. He's been with us 12 years, also had a military career before that. So again, this highlights the dangers of this line of work. We're extremely fortunate that this injury was not more serious, and it highlights how the officers really do put their lives on the line when they go out to do this kind of work.
Right, and with just the high tension right now with what's going on across the country involving police and shootings, is that why the presence was so large tonight here at the hospital with police?
Well, it's large, of course, whenever you have an officer that is injured. Obviously, his colleagues and all of us are very concerned about that. But we also want to make sure that there would be no problems involving the suspects, associates, or anyone else. So we're just keeping a reasonable presence here, and again, we'll continue the investigation.
All right, Chief Magnus, we thank you so much for your time. Again, we want to just confirm that the police officer involved in this shooting is recovering here at Banner University behind me, and that the suspect involved in this shooting is listed in critical condition. We'll stay here on scene and bring you the latest information just as soon as it's available. For now, reporting live in Midtown, Kristen Hobrook, KOLD News 13, live local late breaking.
Kristen, thanks so much tonight. Well, looking now to campaign 2016, we are only 15 days away from Election Day, and some of you have already mailed in your ballot or are heading to the polls early. Check out this early polling site. This is in Texas earlier today. Officials saying that thousands of people turned out early. That broke records in the state. People in more than 30 states are now already voting. Hillary Clinton campaigning in New Hampshire today, where she holds an 8-point lead now over Donald Trump. Trump spent his day in Florida, where 29 electoral votes are up for grabs. And new tonight, we are just now learning that Donald Trump Jr. will be headed to Phoenix soon. The Arizona Republican Party's website says he's scheduled to attend a donor lunch reception on Thursday in Phoenix. A newly released video is showing just how drastically Trump has changed his views on immigration. His campaign has been focusing on deportation and building a wall. Take a listen.
We have some bad hombres here, and we're going to get them out. Bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
Just 4 years ago, Trump had a drastically different view. In June of 2012, Donald Trump called into CNBC's Squawk Box and commented on the Supreme Court's ruling on SB 1070.
Problem with the ruling yesterday is nobody knows what it means. Nobody knows what effect it's going to have, and it could have a very, very seriously negative impact on everything. It's total confusion, and what it will do is tremendous amounts of discrimination lawsuits will be brought in the court.
Trump has been vague about how he will handle undocumented immigrants living here in the United States right now, but remains clear about one thing: he will still deport them. So far, no comment from the Trump campaign. Dan.
Well, Heather, with only about 2 weeks until Election Day, CNN is out with a new national poll on the presidential race. Conducted this weekend, it found that 49% of likely voters are supporting Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump is 5 points behind. You can see 49 to 44. About 5% say they're supporting a third-party candidate. Now, look how the numbers have changed in just the last 50 days, less than 2 months. Back in early September, it was Trump who had a 2-point lead over Clinton in the polls, with 9% of likely voters behind a third-party candidate.
And you only have a couple of days left to request an early ballot. Pima County mailed out a record 353,000 early ballots this month, and so far it's already gotten about 100,000 of them back. The last day to request an early ballot is this Friday. That's October 28th. We have all the information on how you can do that on our live link section at TucsonNewsNow.com. If you have signed up for the insurance under the Affordable Care Act, you might be paying more next year. A government report out says tonight it will jump an average of 22% for the benchmark silver plan. For the average person signing up for the unsubsidized silver plan, the cost will go from $196 to $422. The hike is being blamed on the insurance companies raising prices and some of them dropping out of the program. Kevin?
Thank you, Heather. 10:07 right now the time, and we've had some rain tonight. We had rain this afternoon, big thunderstorms, but tonight still lighter showers out there, and we will continue to have a chance of rain here through midnight over at least the next few hours. Right now it's 73 degrees, the humidity up much higher than what we've been used to over the last couple of weeks, but still a few areas of rain across southern Arizona right now. It's not very heavy, but I can't completely rule out a stray thunderstorm embedded within some of these showers. But light rain right now, and most of it west of Tucson, and also a few spotty showers in Cochise County. But check out the thunderstorms over northern Arizona and southern California. These will continue through the night, and again, we have a chance of showers here beyond midnight. We're going to look at the forecast through the rest of the week and tell you how much hotter it could get. That's coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. A Cochise County deputy constable has been suspended without pay after being accused of stealing property from local residents. A Superior Court judge made that decision earlier today. Scott McManaway was arrested on Friday, as we told you. Saturday, we dropped by his house for some answers. Now, he didn't come to the door, but we did see his county-issued car in the front yard. Well, that has since been taken. The Cochise County Attorney's Office is investigating this to see what action they can take to remove him from his position. The Constable Ethics Board in Phoenix is also looking into it. We have new details for you tonight on the investigation into the death of a woman who was found dead in Midtown. Police reports show that officers had been to the home where she shared with her boyfriend, earlier in the day. Officers were called out to a different home that day, saying that a man outside wouldn't leave. Well, that man was Terrence Borg, who police took home after he said he was drunk. The officer noticed a smell at his home. Borg said it was some of his animals and that his girlfriend, Patricia Caldwell, was sleeping. But then Borg called police later to his house, mentioning there was a prowler in the area. Police checked on Caldwell and found her dead. Borg has been arrested. He is being charged with manslaughter.
The family of a man shot and killed this weekend is hoping you might know something to help answer some questions about his death. Tucson police tell us Israel Afaro died after he was shot near 6th and Ajo yesterday. Investigators believe he and Alice Puente got into a fight. This is her picture. She came back later, according to police, with several men, and somehow Alfaro ended up being shot when she returned with all those guys. Puente is now charged with first-degree murder and kidnapping, but police are still looking for the other people involved. A woman accused of planning out a terrorist attack has pleaded not guilty. Michelle Bastian was indicted last week on 4 felony counts, including terrorism, conspiracy to commit terrorism involving weapons, and promoting prison contraband. She's accused of planning out a bomb attack to kill a warden. Her husband, Thomas Bastian, also indicted on similar charges. He's already behind bars, serving a life sentence for murder.
Governor Doug Ducey stopped by the site where Caterpillar plans to move into Green Valley. Caterpillar is moving its surface mining operations to Tucson, which could be worth $600 million to the local economy. The company is bringing 600 new high-paying jobs, many of which have already moved here from Peoria and Milwaukee. The University of Arizona has now established a class for those who want to drive the machinery. The next time you have to refill a painkiller prescription, you might notice some changes. Governor Doug Ducey signed an executive order today involving the medication. This order only impacts the state's insurance plan for state workers and those on the state Medicaid plan. It will limit the first opioid drug prescription to a 7-day supply.
We want people to be pain-free, but we want to protect them from addiction, and for kids, we want that to be for all fills.
The hope is this will cut into future drug addictions.
We continue to follow late-breaking news from the south side. An officer-involved shooting. The officer at Banner UMC, along with the suspect, we just confirmed that officer was grazed by a bullet in his head. The suspect to be in critical condition.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You probably hear some background noise because there is music playing, but we are live inside of the tap room at Hotel.
Way better. The steel held up.
It's truck month. Make a strong decision. Find your tag and get over $11,000 total value on this Silverado All-Star. See Watson or O'Reilly Chevrolet.
John McCain picked Sarah Palin to be vice president. He said build the danged fence. He bragged about voting to defund Planned Parenthood. McCain endorsed Donald Trump for president 60 times, even after Trump insulted Latinos, women, people with disabilities, a Gold Star family, veterans with PTSD. McCain still supported Trump until now. It's only because his election is in jeopardy. That's not
Updating you on a late-breaking situation that we are following at this hour. Take a look. This is an officer-involved shooting that happened on the south side earlier this evening near 34th and Park Avenue, and that is a live look at the scene right now. And then on the right-hand side of your screen, you are seeing a shot of some officers talking at the hospital Banner UMC tonight, where the suspect and the police officer are being treated. We have just learned the officer involved was grazed by a bullet. He is in good condition tonight. We are learning that the suspect is in critical condition. They exchanged gunfire. We do not know the name of the officer involved, but we do know he has been with the department for 12 years and has a military background. Again, we are live from both scenes right now. We will bring you late-breaking coverage of this within this newscast. We'll keep you updated. Dan.
Thanks, Heather. New at 10, you've probably been to Hotel Congress a few times, or maybe you've driven past it in downtown. What you might not know, that it's home to one of the most haunted bars in the country. Tiger's Tap Room landed on a list from a well-known travel site. KOLD News 13's Maria Hechanova got the spooky history lesson tonight. And Maria, what makes it so haunted?
Well, Dan, right now the tap room is open. You can see that it is decorated for Halloween, but don't be fooled. One of America's most haunted bars is in the spooking spirit all year round.
Step inside historic Hotel Congress. And it's possible you'll find more spirits than just the ones on the shelf.
Yes, I believe in ghosts.
Thank you very much.
Tiger's Tap Room is one of the hotel's 4 bars, and according to its bartenders, maybe the creepiest place to serve customers.
I get chills. You know, my hair stands up on my arms and on the back of my neck, and it's a spooky place, a lot of atmosphere here.
But not everyone seems to mind. Just ask the legendary man who the bar was named after.
It was an impression like it, but it didn't bother anybody.
83-year-old Tom Ziegler, also known as Tiger, has been working here on and off for more than 50 years.
It's not hogwash, it's got to be reality.
He's usually too busy taking care of customers to care if a ghost popped up in the mirror, which he says happened to him back in the 1980s.
No, they don't bother me because they don't drink. They stay upstairs. They don't drink, I don't think.
Whether you believe it or not, some visitors think the ghost stories are intriguing.
It adds something to what makes you want to come in and have a cocktail in the bar.
In Tucson, Maria Hechanova, KOLD News 13, live local, late breaking.
Thanks, Maria. Well, you don't have to travel far for another spooky treat. The Copper Queen in Bisbee also made a list on the travel side as one of the most haunted hotels in America. The Copper Queen opened in 1902. There are ghost tours at the hotel where you are handed ghost tracking equipment to take with you. People who work there, they say they regularly see 3 spirits: a cigar-smoking gentleman, the spirit of a lady of the evening, and a young boy. Kevin?
And I've stayed at that hotel, and 2 employees showed me the pictures, too, of some little ghost children, too. Really cool place, though. You got to check it out if you haven't. Rain tonight. It's light right now. First at the top of the radar, some light showers across southern Arizona. There could still be an embedded thunderstorm, but for the most part, this looks like lighter rain. Occasionally might be some moderate rain, but most of it still either west of Tucson or across Cochise County. But the big thunderstorms, that's all staying to the north of us tonight, from Phoenix to the north and around Flagstaff, and also over western Arizona. Still some pretty good thunderstorms there. But just over the last couple of hours or so, you can see the line here of the clouds. So we will be decreasing, the clouds will be decreasing. We'll be clearing out through the overnight hours. And by tomorrow, I think the mornings will be mostly sunny. The afternoon should be mostly sunny as well. And another warm one today. It was 92 degrees. It's going to be warm again tomorrow, but maybe just a couple of degrees cooler. And rain totals today, for the most part, it was around 1/10 of an inch of rain, but some of the higher totals were up to about 1/2 inch or so. Around Grant and I-10, about 1/2 inch of rain. Tinker Verde, a little over 1/10 of an inch of rain. And at the airport, just a trace, of course. But we did get some rain today. Cooled us off in a big way this afternoon. So tonight, decreasing clouds from west to east. Still could be a shower over the next few hours. And then tomorrow is going to be a mostly sunny day. And then we just heat up, especially Wednesday, Thursday this week. It's going to be hot for late October. We're talking about record heat here. Tomorrow morning, mid-60s, a comfortable start to the day, 65 degrees, about 10 degrees above average, but mid-60s tomorrow, and so nice golfing weather. Sunrise time, 6:35. High of 90 tomorrow, 87 in Benson, 84 degrees for Sierra Vista, and 80 degrees in Bisbee tomorrow. Your solar energy index, if you have solar panels, great shape. Sun's going to be out the next several days, and it's just going to be hot. We are talking about the heat here. By Wednesday, 95, and we'll have morning temperatures in the mid-60s. Thursday, a high of 97 degrees. The record is 94, and actually the record of 94, that's the same for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Thursday through Sunday, each day the record is 94 degrees, And the latest that we've ever hit 95, that's Wednesday's date, October 26th. That's the latest that Tucson has ever reached 95 degrees, and the latest we've ever hit 100 degrees is October 16th. We're well past that, but we will be close to 100 degrees Thursday. That will definitely be a record if we do that. And then Friday, Tucson Roadrunners, first home game. That's Friday. And then this weekend, obviously, U of A homecoming. Beautiful weekend. Afternoon temperatures will be close to the record, which again is 94 each day. Low 90s, though, and mostly sunny each day through the weekend. The mornings are going to be great. I think great weather for the football game, too, on Saturday. And then how about Halloween? That's what we all want to know. 90 degrees, the high temperature for Monday. And will likely be around the mid-80s and partly cloudy for the time all the trick-or-treaters are out there in the evening hours. Pretty warm for Halloween, but it is very hot Wednesday and Thursday this week. We're coming right back.
Here are tonight's Fantasy 5 winning numbers from your Arizona Lottery. 5, 20, 26, 27, 36. Get all this week's winning numbers at ArizonaLottery.com. And remember, you can't win if you don't play.
Hey, the plane crash caught on camera. The video that we had earlier today did not show the plane crash. They paused it. Can you just verify with the editors that it actually does show the crash? Where I don't see the. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Got it.
Mic check 1 2 3 for Cooney on a mic check 1 2 3. You hear me now? You got me now? Okay, there you go.
Caught on camera the moment a plane crashed into the ground.
Yeah, this happened this morning. 5 people were killed in this crash. The flight was part of a French operation to track illicit trafficking of people and drugs. The crash remains under investigation. All you parents might understand why the mother of this child is upset.
A school camera caught a grown man hitting a little boy in a hallway. Look at that. He punches him in the stomach. The video shows that parent just walking up to the student and punching him, and then as you can see right here, just simply walking away. The little boy falls to the ground. The man keeps walking. The mother said tonight she had positive interactions with this parent in the past. Police are now investigating. The man has not been arrested.
Part 1, shots fired. Madera, Part 1, shots fired.
You hear those gunshots right there. A massive manhunt underway for the driver and person taking those shots. The officer was not hurt, but the woman riding along was scratched by broken glass. The officer was pulling the car over for a traffic violation. This was in Madera, California. Well, if you hate spiders or mice, turn away now.
But if you're fascinated by weird things, look at this. Let me just explain what you are seeing. This is a huge spider in Australia caught on camera dragging a mouse. The spider dragging the mouse along the side of that refrigerator. The man and his neighbor who found the spider, they didn't kill it, they named it Hermie, and now they're letting him do extermination around their house.
I'd rather have a cat doing that job instead of a spider.
Yeah, because if a cat crawls on top of your bed and cuddles up with you, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Well, we continue to follow late-breaking news from the south side. An officer-involved shooting at Park and 34th. Both the officer and the suspect in the hospital. An update coming up.
And the local ties in the World Series are tied together. One more preview before Game 1 tomorrow.
Well, screw that up. Okay. Man, well, we get our time cut, but this is a similar song and dance. Anyway, that's another story for another time.
This is KOLT News 13 Sports.
All right, hey there, guys. Welcome back. I'm Dave Cooney. All right, Monday Night Football's biggest storyline hovered over the Texans' new $72 million man. It's former Sun Devil Brock Osweiler. He went back to Denver for the first time tonight. Pre-game, a couple of his teammates openly talking trash about the dude because they think he kind of ditched him when he left. Well, the return didn't follow Brock's blueprint. Week 8, hard to imagine you can't get on the same page when it comes to route running with his receivers, but that was the case. You look at some of the, I need some circus music here. Osweiler finished with a measly 131 yards through the air. C.J. Anderson had almost just as much on the ground, and Denver rolls over the Texans tonight. Either way, when the World Series ends this year, one drought will end and one local tie will emerge. Either way, we get them both. It's a 2-for-1. Former Tucson Padre Anthony Rizzo, who played here in Tucson, revamped his career here in Tucson, was originally drafted by Terry Francona's Red Sox back in 2007. Francona managing the Cubbies' first baseman through some of the toughest times in his life when he was diagnosed and went into remission from Hodgkin's lymphoma.
When you know young players when they're first coming through, you know, like when they're coming from AA, AAA to the big leagues, you almost get a little bit of feeling of almost a paternal feeling. And I don't ever mean to say you're taking, there's only one father and mother, but I think you get my point.
One more former Wildcat, Kenny Lofton, throwing out the first pitch of Game 1. He's also a Cleveland legend, too, just like he is here in Tucson. Rich Rodriguez taken to the podium today as he begins his next attempt at trying to dig out of the Pac-12 gutter. Injury, that's been the headline so far. But side note, Arizona and Oregon, both representatives in the 2014 Pac-12 championship game, are the only winless teams in the conference. They're both 0-4. So the question arises today for Rich Rod, is it harder to maintain the success or attain the success that eludes them this year.
It's hard to get there when you're really down because, you got to recruit. But if you recruit well and stay healthy, you can stay up there. But those folks that you're competing against, they're working hard too. And I'm confident that the first half of this season is just a little bump in the road.
We shall see. Stanford opening as the 5.5-point favorite for that late kickoff at 8 p.m. We got Pac-12 After Dark, Chapter 7. We're coming back with more late-breaking news. We'll be right back.
Janice, you with late-breaking news here on the south side. Some road closures, and police continue to investigate an officer involved in shooting in the area of 36th and Park. Both the suspect and officer hit by gunfire.
I'm Kristen Hobrick, live outside of Banner UMC, where both the officer and suspect involved in this shooting are being treated. I've learned that the officer involved is currently listed in stable condition, and the suspect is listed in critical condition. As Police Chief Chris Magnus first broke the news on KOLD, he told me that the officer involved in this shooting was conducting a sting operation for gang and related narcotics when he was approached by the suspect, and the suspect started shooting. Reporting live in Midtown, Kristen Hobrick, KOLD News 13, live local late breaking.
All right, thanks, Kristen. Of course, you can check back for updates on our website, TucsonNewsNow.com, and our mobile news app.
Text app to 51313 and download the Tucson News Now mobile app, and you'll never be without news from Tucson News Now.
Sponsored by the Humane Society of Southern Arizona, celebrating 70 years of helping pets and the people who love them.